Welcome back to Trailer Trashing, the podcast that trashes movie trailers. I'm your host, Joey Rinaldi, and today we're doing the year 2000 rom-coms. Joining me, as they always do, is our editor-producer, Charlie Weinshank, and our very funny comedian, producer, singer-songwriter, Soupy Garbage Juice, a.k.a. Derek Blythe.
Hello, America.
Yes. So this is specifically the year 2000, not like the 2000s. You may have thought, oh, there's a lot of good rom-coms from the year 2000 to the year 2010.
2020.
Coming this summer.
But no, this is specifically the year 2000. That's right, the year after 1999 and before 2001.
Or known as the Y2K era. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, Y2K, it means year 2000.
So yeah, after a crazy decade of rom-coms that featured stuff like 10 Things I Hate About You, The Wedding Singer, Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, She's All That, Notting Hill, Pretty Woman, Clueless, Jerry Maguire. After all of those 90s rom-coms that everybody loves, the year 2000 decided they had to respond back. They were like, if we're going to go in this new millennium, we need to prove to everybody that we can compete and still have good rom-coms. And today we're going to see if that actually happened or not. I'm excited.
Righto. I'm not a big rom-com guy, not in the slightest. I actually didn't even choose one of these today. I said, Joey, you pick two for me and I'll choose one between the two. I don't even remember which one I chose. I think it was Bedazzled.
It's going to be a hot, yeah, it was Bedazzled.
Got it.
Derek, I know you're a little rom-com secret admirer over there.
What? Not
I'm
really. I like the Nora Ephron ones.
Who's Nora Ephron? Who is that?
She made all the best ones, like When Harry Met Sally and You've Got Mail,
I love
Sleepless in Seattle, and all your favorite ones were written by her.
I'm a huge Nora Ephron fan.
And you didn't mention one of her 90s movies in your preamble there.
I said Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail.
I don't think you did.
I did. Derek, I can't believe I have to say this early in the episode, but you're a heartless cocksucker. I said it.
Okay.
Wait, is she related to Zach?
I don't think so, but
they're
I also
husband and wife,
have no
actually.
idea. I'm not gonna pretend like I know. I think she's dead.
So we'll say possibly.
Nora died?
I'm also not gonna pretend like I know that either.
I just found out about her and I'm so sad.
She may or may not be dead and may or may not be related to Zac Efron.
I feel like I have a memory of her dying, but it could have been like a headline I read in a dream before I went back to skiing with my high school.
What are you talking about?
Dreams.
Skiing in high school.
This is almost as bad as when Derek told me that the late Robert Ebert died, and I couldn't handle that either.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Nora Ephron?
He's dead.
Yeah.
Well, she might be alive, so, hold on
She
to
might
that.
be alive. I don't think she is, though.
Nora, if you're
I
alive,
feel like she'd still be writing movies.
stop making it so sad.
What are the movies we're doing today?
We're doing what women want.
Women once.
We're doing what women want. We're doing high fidelity, or as I like to call
Cusack.
I like to call it high Cusack because his performance is so high in it. And then, as we mentioned already, we're ending today's episode with Bedazzled.
For some context, though, Joey always writes some sort of weird, almost correct version of the title when we're discussing what movies we're doing. Like Woman Once and a high Cusack.
It's like he fed it to like a Google Translate to Chinese and then to another version of Chinese and then back into English.
All right, so the first one is Woman Wants.
What women want.
Women wants Mel Gibson.
Starring Mel Gibson, Helen Hunt, and Marissa Tomei. And it's directed by Nancy Meyer, somebody that I love because she directed It's Complicated and Something's Gotta Give, two of my favorite rom-coms of all time. So
wow, so you're like an official rom-com guy.
Yes, dude, Charlie and Derek have both seen me do stand-up comedy. I literally have stand-up bits that are 10 minutes long about how much I love rom-coms.
Yeah, they're all about how they ruined your life.
Yeah,
your love for them.
I knew you were a rom-com guy, but I just wanted to make it known that it's official. Joey Rinaldi loves rom-coms.
rom-communist.
I mentioned this on a podcast recently. I think it was the last episode or 2 episodes ago that I used to fall asleep watching Love Actually every night. I'm a rom-com fanatic.
Fanatic.
I would bet $10 that you have mentioned the movie Love Actually in every single episode we've done.
He's secretly whispering it while other people are talking. so that
Love
nobody can hear.
Actually, Love Actually.
So what's What Woman Wants? I've never seen it. I've never seen any of these. I've never seen Woman Wants. I've never seen High Cusack, and I've never seen Dazzle.
Okay. Well, without any further ado, let's watch Woman Wants.
That girl we met last night at the club, nothing happened after you put her in the cab, right? It did? Something happened? She said you had to be in bed early.
Well, I had her in bed by 11.
Nick Marshall thought he was God's gift to women.
Cappuccino extra foamed. Tall or grande?
Grande, or at least I like to think so.
Next.
But he's about to discover what women think.
Let me get you a cab, sir.
Thank you, Flo.
You're welcome, my little sweet buns.
What did you say?
Me? Nothing.
I can hear what women think.
Whoa, lighten up with that aftershave, buddy.
I'm talking personal, private stuff. The stuff that nobody on earth is supposed to hear. I hear that stuff. It's driving me crazy. Even French poodles, I can hear them.
Monsieur, I need to poo-poo.
I don't know how this happened to you or why, but you may just be the luckiest man on earth. Hello, I'm Darcy. Think of the possibilities.
Great photographs.
No clue they're all Margaret Burke White.
They're not all Margaret Burke White, are they?
Yeah, they are. This guy's kind of exciting.
Paramount Pictures and Icon Productions present
I won't dance.
I'm gonna be the one guy on earth who knows what women want, how they think, and why they do those cuckoo things they do.
the story of a man's man who's listening to what women want.
Don't fall for a guy at work. Don't fall for a guy at work.
Why?
Why what?
And getting in touch with his feminine side.
Dad,
Hi.
what are you doing?
Exfoliating? I'm a bitch.
Mel Gibson,
You go, girl.
Helen Hunt,
I'm free. Just call me anytime. I'm flirting. What's wrong with me? Oh, God, I just looked at his crotch. Oh, I hope he didn't see me. Oh, I just looked at it again. Stop it.
What Women Want, a Nancy Meyers film.
I can't believe this is what I'll be wearing the last night I'm a virgin.
Wow. So Mel Gibson is down for a gender-bending role, but he's not down with the Jews.
I don't remember why he starts cross-dressing in this, but I guess anyone would become very, very confused to get a full injection of the female sensibility after electrocuting yourself in the bathtub.
How many people do you think accidentally killed themselves after this movie came out?
I'm gonna learn what women think.
Here we go. I'm getting in the bathtub with my fucking electrical appliances. This is going to happen. I'm losing my virginity finally.
So, Derek and Charlie, can we slow down for 1 second? Because if you weren't watching the trailer with us, like the listeners, they wouldn't know what we're talking about. In the trailer, the reason why Mel Gibson can hear what all these sexy women think is because he drops a hairdryer in the bathtub. And the electrocution surprisingly doesn't kill him. It just makes him hear what women think or want.
Yeah. And then it sends him down this whole journey of like kind of trying out more feminine things. He's getting his nails done. He's waxing his legs. He's trying on a bra. He's putting on pantyhose.
He starts to learn that they're not just a pair of walking yum-yum boxes.
So a funny thing about this is that apparently after this movie came out, because there's like the year 2000, all these men were like, I can't believe Mel Gibson actually waxed his leg. There was no way that Mel actually did. That was like a stunt double. And then Mel had to like come out and be like, no, that was actually me waxing my legs. Like I actually did it for the thing. And like, it was cool.
I guess, I mean, it's like easier than, I don't know, slowly eating a live cockroach multiple times. Imagine Nicolas Cage as this role. Holy shit.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Mel Gibson's already creepy enough. But an unhinged Nicolas Cage hearing women's thoughts.
Yeah. Wow.
So this concept originally came from a Twilight Zone episode where it was actually like a scary thing because I think like all the women were trying to kill him or something. I don't know. But then they made a rom-com.
That's what being progressive in the year 2000 is for you. It's like in a world where men and women live in their roles, what happens when a man can finally learn what goes on in the total otherworldly mind of a woman, and then like he starts to understand them and like bridges the gap.
It's like it's not like every woman's thought. It's like every woman's thought about him, or like it's like their thoughts do not pass the Bechdel test at all.
But I was being facetious though, because I think that this movie is obviously still very what's the word I'm thinking of?
Enjoyable?
You know, it still lacks a lot of depth. I mean, but that's the thing is like what makes a rom-com for you guys? Because for me, it's just like very simplistic views on things and like just very single narrative ideas about people, and that screams lacking depth. So I'm not surprised,
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'll say it one time and then I'll never say it again. What I want from a rom-com is making me want to feel like I want to have a girlfriend. Okay, I officially killed that joke. I'm retiring. I want a girlfriend joke. It's over. I killed it. I'm sorry.
It's no joke.
It's no joke.
I did actually just look it up on BechdelTest.com, and it fails spectacularly.
What is Bechdel? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what language are you speaking?
The Bechdel test, to pass it, there are 3 criteria. One is that a movie has at least 2 women in it. 2 is that the women interact with each other. And the third is that they interact with each other at least once, and it's not about a male. It doesn't seem that hard to do, but a lot of movies fail, and this one definitely did.
I think that to be a romantic comedy, you have to abide by like these single narratives, like men are men, women are women, and
women are men,
and straying out of like these specific like singular ideas of what a man is and what a woman is doesn't really happen a lot in romantic comedies because they're simplistic ideas, and that's why people like Joey in his childhood end up kind of like warping their reality around what, like, it's like you think that women follow the rules of these romantic comedies, and men do too, but you'd be surprised to find in reality that people are very full of complicated things and have much more depth. So I think for a romantic comedy to pass the Bechdel test would make it in a minority.
I could see, like, if you're writing dialogue for a romantic comedy, just having them talk about something else would seem like filler.
Yeah, it's all bimbos and muscle guys and boning down.
No, it's about cute guys with feelings and women who also have feelings. That's what a rom-com is.
It's about meet cutes.
I also want to tell you something, Charlie. Even though this movie didn't pass the Bechdel exam,
the breakfast
test,
not one breakfast.
The rectal exam.
Even though it failed their rectal exam, I will say this. It passed the universal test because there was a Chinese remake and a Bollywood remake of this movie. So India and China both had remakes, and then Tracy Morgan also made a remake, like an all-black cast remake called What Men Want, where it's like a woman.
Yeah, I think that came out a couple years ago. And
yeah.
I can't imagine. One of my thoughts during this was like, oh God, thank God it's not a woman hearing men. She would just move to Alaska and never see another man again.
Derek, speak for yourself. I have great thoughts. What are you thinking about, you psychopath?
This is what Joey's thoughts are like. Man, I wish I was in Love Actually right now.
All the time.
Yeah, he would probably be good in What Men Want.
Yeah,
I'm in the coffee shop. Maybe I should drop my books so Meg Ryan can pick them up, and then we can fall in love, and then fight at the end of the second act because of an easily communicated issue that we don't address. And then in the third act, I stop her from getting on the plane.
A day in the life of
Does that
Joey
sound like
Rivera.
your daily thoughts at Starbucks?
That is my daily thought. And then after I have that thought process, I'm like, what am I thinking? She'll never fall for me, and then I never make the move. But I'm gonna give this a solid 7 because it gave me. You know what? I've never seen this movie before, and after that trailer, I now actually want to see it. So I'm giving it a 7. It did its job.
You've never seen this, Joey?
No, I've never seen any of these movies. Believe it or not.
Wow. I mean, I've never seen any of these 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 movies either. I almost said I've never.
I've
seen
never
any of
seen these women, officer.
Women, I barely know her. That doesn't work.
But I just assumed you've seen all of them.
Charlie, give me your fucking rating. It's to stop with the whole.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because I chuckled a few times.
You
during
chuckled.
this.
There was a genuine Charlie chuckle. I love a Charlie chuckle. I live. That's what I
Genuine
live
Charlie Chuckle. Charlie Chuckle cereal.
for. Okay, and the Blythe Man.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's a lot better than the actual movie is.
You've seen the movie?
Yeah, when it came out.
It seems like if you take this movie and you squish it down to pill size, it would be easier to swallow. So I'm totally not surprised that this trailer is better than the movie.
Yeah, I think the whole entire first act is that just like, oh, cute butt, and him going, oh, whoa, what?
My butt.
So it's time to play the Rotten Tomato game for the chance to see Bobby Seger live in concert when Corona ends. So what is your tomato scores, people?
This is can I ask a question? Is this before or after? This has to be before the Jew incident, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, way
yeah.
before the Jew.
Oh yeah.
Jews was seeing Mel Gibson movies on Christmas Day during this time period.
Right. So this is back.
I think this is like right before.
No. It's Passion of the Christ is when that shit came out. So Passion of the Christ was like.
But that was like 2004.
It was 2000. It was 2000. All right, so it was 4 years prior. So it wasn't right before. It was 4 years before. 4 years is a long time. That's like a whole college experience, dog.
Yeah. Someone who watched this movie and then went through college thinking Mel Gibson liked Jewish people, and then came out and was rudely awakened. Just to put it into some perspective.
Thank you for breaking that down for me, Chuck. I really needed that.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm gonna give this. I would assume that this got a 69 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Charlie loves the 69. Derek, can you counter that? Can I get a 70, 71,
69 is
72?
worth a chuckle.
A 59.
Oh my God! What did he just say, Derek?
59.
Oh, you just beat Charlie in the first round of the Rotten Tomato game.
What is it?
It's a 54.
Ah, blast.
And this is what the tomato people had to say about the El Movio. Even though Gibson is a good sport in his role, what women want is a rather conventional, fluffy comedy romance that doesn't make good use of its premise. And I agree. I guess I didn't see the movie, but I agree.
Yeah, he has like
I
the
could
most
agree to that
incredible telekinetic ability of all time, and then it just helps him get a date.
Just
one
to get laid and understand women. Slightly more.
I guess personal growth is fine, but
No, but it didn't even stop him from being like more misogynistic.
I think in the end it does. Yeah.
I doubt it. It just made him slightly less misogynistic.
Can we hear what the Bieber man had to say himself? What did the Bieb say?
That's right. Roger the Elephant Ebert said 3 stars.
3 stars? What? He loved it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty fucking good for 2000 for year 2000 Robert Ebert review. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean he was close to death, I think, right? So maybe
No, he had another like
11
years in him. Yeah.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Let's break that down for you guys. That is nearly that's 2.5 college experiences.
Wait a second. So that means Roger Ebert only had 7 years of life thinking that Mel Gibson was a bad person.
That's 1 year away from being 3 college experiences.
So most of Roger Ebert's life, Mel Gibson was a good person, if you think about it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. His last paragraph is If the movie is imperfect, it's not boring and is often very funny. As in a solo dance that Nick does in his apartment to Frank Sinatra singing I Won't Dance. This is, we imagine, the way the Tom Cruise character in Risky Business might have ended some of his evenings if he had grown up to be Nick Marshall. I also like the way Gibson handled the sex scene, where his look of joy and complete self-satisfaction at the end is equaled only by Jack Nicholson's famous Triumph t-shirt moment in Five Easy Pieces. Note, the look and feel of the movie is just right. The set for the ad agency's office is inviting and seems lived in. Inspired by Chicago's 19th century monadnock.
Oh, Charlie can't read also. That makes two of us.
I don't know.
No,
what
this is
monadnock-
a weird, like, it's not just any old word like the you can't
Typical
do.
Yeah,
Derek. Typical Derek taking Charlie's defense and never
Monadnock.
siding with me.
monadnock. I'm pretty sure it's a last name too. Last names are hard to
It's
pronounce.
not like the word ensemble.
I know.
Yeah. And I know for a fact, Joe, you've never once pronounced my last name correctly. So-
Wineshank. It's Charlie Wineshank. Happy? I know how to
yeah,
say
for
it.
the
I
for the
choose,
first
I
time,
choose
you
not
got it
to
right.
say it because you don't deserve it. You're heartless both of you are heartless cocksuckers. I said it twice now.
All right, carrying on. It looks plausible as an ad agency headquarters and allows sight lines that are important to the action. Great work by production designer John Hutman. Sorry, I'm still laughing about ensemble.
Ensemble.
Was that me?
Yeah, that was you last
Yeah, you
episode.
fucked that up big time. Last time.
Ensemble.
No.
Finish the. All right, the review's done. I don't know what Roger Ebert is saying. Honestly, like he lost me.
His last paragraph is like just a rant about how good the set piece for his Mel Gibson's work
Yeah,
office was.
This is borderline worthless.
I know.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to like wrap it up like your conclusions you got at the end? And how many does he just have a weird? It just stops.
So, like a good, like maybe 50 to 65% of them are just like some sort of last minute, like
He's at like with his typewriter at some bar in Chicago, and his final martini's like really starting to kick in. He's like, "All right, that's good. Time for an Ambien."
The Bieber does not edit his work. He just writes it and submits it.
He has to watch every
Yeah.
movie in the world and make a review
Yeah.
by the next day. Every once in a while, he takes an Ambien and a Viagra, and you get a 3-page Sandlot review.
Dude, Roger Ebert
Oh,
wanted to
man.
fuck the lifeguard too. I'm just saying.
whoa. You don't want to bring that back up, Joey.
So I'm gonna give you one more fun fact before we move on to High Fidelity, or as,
Hi, Cusack.
before we get to High Q side, let me give you one little fun fact nugget for you guys. There's a kissing scene in this movie that's like, it's like a kissing scene. Like it takes like 10 seconds of film. But for some reason, it took them a full day and a half of shooting to get this down. Apparently, Helen Hunt and Mel Gibson had no chemistry kissing, and that his I guess he for this scene he had to have 5 o'clock shadow, and his 5 o'clock shadow just kept on cutting her face, and I guess she had sensitive skin, and it
That's
just
the oldest trick in
God.
the book, Joseph.
and like it was just like the
Oh,
You just
God.
wanted to kiss her for a whole day.
and Helen Hunt was like, it was so like tiring, like just like kissing this man that I don't love like over and
With
over.
sand.
God,
Sandpaper
that brings me
face,
back
yeah.
to like my high school play. I think I was 15. It was a freshman in high school, and I hadn't really kissed a lot. And I had a kiss scene that was like a pivotal moment in the play, and the girl just hated my guts secretly. And there were two like couples that had to kiss, the main characters and then my character, and so our
That's
drama
brutal.
teacher took the 4 of us into like the gym locker room and was like, "All right, guys, we need I've set aside the rest of this rehearsal for you to kiss." And
Now,
so
that's the oldest
we-
trick in the book again. Your teacher just wanted to watch you kiss.
just awkward, like just I don't know how many hours we were in there looking at each other, laughing awkwardly, like, haha, it's fine, you're my friend, we'll just do it, it's fine. And then the like opening night of the show, they have to like in the scene they have to open, like they have to find us kissing, like it's a big reveal that we're a couple. So we heard the scene coming up, so we kissed for like a long time, and then we stopped kissing, and the door hadn't opened, they hadn't gotten to us, and the look on her face was like one of the biggest like knives into my heart ever. She looks so horrified that she kissed me for no reason. She looked so disgusted that
Wow, that's
she kissed
brutal.
me for a couple minutes for no reason, and then we had to do it again.
Derek, I have a question. Do you also hate Jews? Because you sound like a real Mel Gibson piece of shit right now.
What the fuck
Wow.
that's what you got from that?
What's going on, Joey?
My vulnerable, awkward high school story you found dripping with anti-Semitism?
Joey, what's going on?
any chance I get to
Was that supposed to be a segue to High Cusack? Speaking of anti-Semitism from a high school student.
God damn it.
Joey, what the fuck? Where were you going with that? Lay it on us. Tell us where that was supposed to go.
Give me a second.
What?
Give me a second. Okay. This is too much. Okay. Any chance?
I'm gonna make another coffee while you're Gervais laughing.
Okay.
I know I was cursed with the Gervais laugh. I feel terrible about it. But any chance I have to make Derek Blythe similar to Mel Gibson, I go for it.
What?
I don't understand still, Joey. Explain yourself, please.
Because Mel Gibson kissed this Helen Hunt who didn't want to kiss him all day. And this girl didn't want to kiss Derek all day. So he was a real Mel Gibson.
So obviously he's anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Okay. There we have it, folks. The connection has been made.
And now let's move on to High Cusack.
Damn. I feel so seen.
You've been exposed.
Oh man. How did you know we didn't have any Jews at our school?
Okay.
In
We need
redneck West Florida.
I need to stop laughing, so we're gonna watch the trailer for High Cusack.
Yeah, we gotta
now.
collect ourselves.
We're gonna collect ourselves during this trailer. Are you guys ready?
My store is called Championship Vinyl. Turn it off! It won't go any louder! I can't fire them. I hired these guys for 3 days a week, and they just started showing up every day. That was 4 years ago.
Rob Gordon has a successful business and a dedicated following.
I used to go to the Double Door to hear you spin. You were unbelievable.
But when it comes to dating,
Hi. Is this Penny Hardwick? Hi, Caroline.
he's still searching.
Are you in or out, Rob?
I'm sorry?
Are you in or out, Rob?
I'm in.
For the right woman.
What's your name?
Laura!
Now his search may have ended, but his problems just started.
And I like you with Laura. I don't think much of this Ian guy.
What? Ian guy? You gotta be kidding me.
Touchstone Pictures presents
How's Ian? He's growing on me. He looks like he could grow on something.
What a night it really was.
John Cusack, Jack Black, Lisa Bonet, Joan Cusack, Eben Yila, Tim Robbins, Lily Taylor, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Based on the international best-selling novel
Are you gonna line that flower bed all night?
No.
High Fidelity.
I'm looking for a record for my daughter. I just called to say I love you.
Do we look like the kind of store that sells I just called to say I love you? Go to the mall.
What's your problem?
Do you even know your daughter? There's no way she likes that song. Oh, is she in a coma?
Up top, I gotta address a few things. Throughout the trailer, Derek was talking about Jack Black being Jack Black.
He wouldn't stop. It cuts to him dancing like 5 times, which is way too much for like what, a 2-minute trailer.
Yeah.
I got a fun fact for you, Derek. That's gonna give you some peace of mind. Jack Black refused to do this movie. He didn't want to do this movie because John Cusack wrote this movie with that character specifically to be Jack Black being Jack Black. And when Jack Black read that script, he said, "I'm done being Jack Black all the time. I don't want to do this." But then they kept on upping how much money they would pay him to do this movie.
Wow.
We'll give you a soul patch.
And then his agent was like, dude, this is the best deal an actor will ever get. You gotta take this shit.
Real talk, though, do you think that Jack Black and Jack White ever get together to play chess?
I know for a fact. I've seen a video of them hanging out.
Oh, dang.
I don't think they played chess, but they hung out and they were like, together we're Jack Gray, and he did his.
Oh, I think that did happen.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it did. I watched it.
I got one more fun fact to give Charlie some peace of
I
mind.
think that was in my dream where Nora Ephron died.
Don't bring up sad stuff like that, you Jew-hating Mel Gibson worshiper.
Well, it's just some serious.
Wow.
You're
Joey.
besmirching my name.
You're
I feel very besmirched.
I'm Jewish, and he's on a podcast with me. He's clearly not anti-Semitic.
Charlie, please defend me.
Yeah, got you. I got
Charlie,
you.
before this podcast, we need like a warning that starts it off being like, attention, Derek Blythe is not a Jew-hating swamp monster. That is all.
No, it's okay. I backed him up here.
Okay.
Thank you.
He's
I don't
cool.
have to take this from a guy with a book of cool 6-year-olds.
Yeah, that's right. I on behalf of all the Jews, Derek, you're pardoned.
Thank you. I feel the strength of all the Jews from your ancestors fleeing Egypt up until now. All of them, I feel, have excused me.
You're welcome.
All right, let me say one more thing before we talk about the trailer.
Say I don't
Charlie-
hate Jews, and I
All
will
right,
let you.
Derek probably doesn't hate Jews.
Good enough. I probably don't.
So for the listeners, while this trailer was happening, when they showed Joan Cusack, Charlie like freaked out. He was like, 2 Cusacks in a movie? And
Talk about a Cusack.
To quote myself, I didn't know. I wasn't sure that they were related, so I immediately was like, "Is that his mom?" And then Derek filled me
Yeah.
in saying,
It's Joan
that
Cusack.
their brother and sister.
They named their kids John and Joan.
So I got a really fun fact for you scallywags. There's 4 Cusacks in this movie. There's John Cusack, there's Joan Cusack, there's their little sister Susie Cusack, and even their dad Dick Cusack made an appearance in this movie. So there it is.
Dick Cusack. What were they thinking?
I would just go by Richard.
Yeah. Dick Sack.
Dick Sack.
And Susie Q. Sack.
But you know what's even worse than that? There was 2 teachers at my school, a math teacher and a science teacher, and that they
That's the worst.
They were married, and their last name was Pubesack.
That's wrong.
What was it?
Pubesack.
That's a lie.
Okay, so let's talk about the trailer finally. What do you guys think about the trailer? I loved it.
Yeah, I was into it. I thought that for a romantic comedy, it had an interesting angle. I like music. It had a music angle. Jack Black clearly was playing himself, and I'm a fan of Jack Black. What can I say?
Same.
I'm a fan of Jack Black too, but it was a little too much. Like, you ever put too much salt on your eggs and you're like,
Yeah. No, I could see that.
It was a little bit too much of a high dose in a trailer. I'm sure it's spread out in the movie, but in the trailer, it's a lot of cutting to him dancing anytime, like every time it went to
It
him.
was basically advertising that we have Jack Black in this movie.
Did my fun fact give you peace of mind though, Derek?
I don't know.
About Jack
Oh,
Black
that
not
he
wanting
didn't want to
it?
do it. No, that made me sad. That they're like, go and do your fat boy dance. Do a air
Yeah.
guitar. Have a soul patch. Be his chubby best friend that helps him realize that he can overcome Ian, the Tim Robbins salt and pepper creep.
So this is crazy. Springsteen was in this movie. I guess he plays John Cusack's imaginary friend. But then John Cusack later in an interview said, "We actually wanted Bob Dylan. We tried really hard to get Bob Dylan, but I called Springsteen and he said yes. So he chose Springsteen instead."
Wow, that's odd.
I think Springsteen is so much better for this movie than Bob. I feel like Bob Dylan would have been so boring for this role.
Yeah, well, Bob Dylan's kind of like a weirdo
He
now.
might fit because like John Cusack looks like a weird hipster in this.
This is what I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give this trailer. I'm gonna give it an 8 because it was better and more entertaining and makes me want to watch the movie more than the last trailer. So I'm giving it an 8.
I think
Solid
I
8.
gave the last one a 6.5.
Yeah.
I would give this one a 7.25 because
I respect that.
I think it was definitely a better rom-com, but once again, being a rom-com kind of just makes it not do it for me. So it was, and the trailer was good. Trailer was fine.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some fun facts that's gonna make you rethink what you just said. This movie was ranked.
Rewind.
This is the Joey Rewind Hour with your host,
Joey Rewind.
Derek,
So
did you
today on
rate
the
it yet,
Joey
though?
Rewind Hour, we're
7.
Derek just rated the movie during my Rewind Hour.
Yeah, you did.
God.
'Cause you didn't let him rate it. You
Heartless,
gave it a 7.
heartless cocksucker. I said it again. Okay, listen to me. This movie ranked 446th on Empire Magazine's 500 greatest films ever made. Does that change your mind at all, bucko?
No, that's pretty
What?
fucking bad. At least it made the list, but it's definitely not greatest of all time material.
And it also it was this is another weird fun. I'm chock full of these ones. Chicago Magazine ranked this the best movie to ever be filmed in Chicago.
I feel like these facts really highlight this movie's just like it's the best for a really specific scenario.
Okay, let's give me your Rotten Tomato score, Charlie. I want you to tie it up here. Come on, you're an underdog.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm compelled to go 69 once more for it's worth a chuckle.
I'll do
Not this time, I guess.
72. I think it looks fine. Like I think it
You-
looks fine, but it looks like John Cusack watched all those Kevin Smith movies in the 90s and made his own.
You
like,
want to know
it looks
what,
forgettable.
Derek?
Please enlighten me on what, Charlie.
I always lose. I always lose because I go first and you cut me off.
You want me to
If
go
it's like,
first
I
next
think-
time, baby?
Yeah, that's right. First next time.
Wait, Charlie. Oh yeah, that is true. He does always beat you. Yeah.
It's Joey's fault. He asked you first.
Yeah, you always ask me first. I say, it's gonna be in the high 60s, low 70s. That's my
But
guess.
he
So I'm gonna go
also
69.
has revealed that he's massively biased for you to lose every single time. He gets
Yeah,
really
well, that's
excited
probably
that
why
I
he's
won.
telling me to go first. Yeah,
Derek
well,
wins again. Please keep doing the podcast. Do the voice, Mike Roman.
high 60s, low 70s, and I've said 69, and you want to win. You just say 73, and it's an easy win.
But I
So-
also want to be honest, and like I feel like we have similar opinions in movies. It's like
yeah, but so then you go first. Then you go first.
it's too late.
Should I come out of retirement and play the tomato game for the last round?
You've already looked at
No,
it.
because
You
then no-
freaking troglodyte.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay. So I'm gonna say something right now that will make it very clear why Charlie lost. This is ranked as the 14th best Rotten Tomato movie. Rotten Tomato
What?
ranked this as its 14th best movie.
Oh, maybe it's
So
good.
what did it get?
And so yeah, this movie is rated a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes. So,
Wow.
which is weird that it's just a 91 if it's if it's the 14th best movie. I don't know how that works.
No, because 91 is good. That's really good.
But you would
Maybe
think
it's
like
good.
I don't know. But you would think the top 14
This looks forgettable.
really?
Yeah, it does look forgettable.
I think it looks
like
legendary.
it's like a fine like rent. You should like make dinner and watch it and wish you had a girlfriend. But like, I don't think I would remember what happened.
I
but
retired that joke, damn it. I retired
you
it.
did, but I'm allowed to call it back. It's still funny. Hit me up on Twitter at Soupy Garbage. Let me know what you think, gang. Like and subscribe.
You don't have the Yu-Gi-Oh graveyard card to pull that card back, Dick. I said
Anyway,
it.
it's what I'll say is it's probably good. Like we could be fully wrong on every single thing that we haven't watched, but like that's what you like. The whole point of this is judging a movie by its trailer, and I will accept it being wrong at any time.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also think that like how can it be that good and a romantic comedy? It's just I'm biased against romantic comedies, but 14th best on like
Out of all the
Rotten Tomatoes
movies?
overall.
Oh shit! I misread the I misread the fun fact. It's the 14th best rom-com on Rotten Tomato.
There you go.
That makes sense.
This looks good for a romantic comedy. This does not look good for like all movies of all time.
What's the first, Joey?
Can I read the Rotten Tomato? Can I? I don't know. I just have that fun fact. Let me read.
What?
Joey, get the fucking first one. You brought this into it. You have to follow up. That's,
Wait,
that's
can I
just
read?
how it
All
works.
right, let me read the tomato thing, and then while you're reading Roger Ebert, I'll look it up.
Okay.
There's
There you go.
there's what the tomato people had to say. The deft hand of director Stephen Frears and strong performance by the ensemble cast combines to tell an entertaining story with a rock-solid soundtrack. Yeah, that's pretty basic.
Wow, check this out, guys. High Fidelity, rated by Roger Ebert, was given 4 stars out of 4 stars.
Dude, it's a good movie!
It probably is good.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll
good
watch it
movie!
if it's free somewhere.
Let's not forget that there have been times where Roger Ebert has given a movie that looks absolute shit a 4-star. You know,
I can't find the list, by the way. I give up.
How do you? What? It's IMDb. You literally said it. Type in what you said.
Rotten
Grandpa.
Tomatoes, romantic.
Roger.
Oh, I found it! I found it! I
Yeah, I
found it.
wonder how.
All right, okay. The last paragraph goes a little something like this. I am meandering. All I want to say is that High Fidelity has no deep significance, does not grow exercised over stupid plot points, savors the rhythms of these lives, sees how pop music is a soundtrack for everyone's autobiography, introduces us to Rob and makes us hope that he finds happiness, and causes us to leave the theater quite unreasonably happy. Wow,
Yeah, maybe
so
it's good.
you liked
I
it.
feel like Ian should be the good guy's name and Rob should be the bad guy's name, but
Yeah. Well, no. I go. I don't know what rules you're operating under, but I operate under the National Treasure rules, and Ian is the bad guy, so Ian's a
Oh.
bad guy's name for me.
I totally wasn't listening to any of that because I got crazy news to tell you.
okay, wait. I want me and Charlie to compete over the first and second slot of the best rom-coms. Unless you're like, I don't know
Okay.
them. I think they're gonna be.
There's no way you're gonna guess them, but try
I think
it.
they're gonna be When Harry Met Sally and Annie Hall.
Nope.
Okay.
Just no. Annie Hall's number.
Apocalypse Now.
Annie Hall is number 8 on the list. But
I
this
don't
is-
have a good guess.
I'm gonna give you the top 5 to show you how fucked up this is. 5 is
Yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians. 4 is Roman Holiday. 3 is
Oh.
Philadelphia Story. 2 is The Big Sick, and the best one is It Happened One Night, the 1934 classic. What?
That's kind of cool.
Roman Holiday is good, but
I
it's
like when
fine.
people retroactively place things into genres that didn't exist at the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people have said that the Beach Boys made the first emo album with what is it? The best album of all time.
Pet Sounds.
Yeah, Pet Sounds,
Yeah.
because it's just about a teenager in high school and how he's feeling emotional about girls, and that's like what an emo album is.
Black people were already doing that.
But
Yeah, it's true.
I got something really fucked up to admit to you guys. That Wikipedia article, apparently was from a couple years ago, and over the course of time, High Fidelity moved up on Rotten Tomatoes rom-com list to number 47.
Moved down.
Or down on the list. And you know what's before it at 46? The Nick Cage
What?
classic. We love Nick Cage. Moonstruck, baby.
Oh.
Whoa!
Oh, it's so good.
My dad
Oh my
watched
God.
that last night.
No way. Was Nick Cage
Yeah.
amazing in it?
He's
Sexy?
he's so good. He's everything you'd want. He's all the best Nick Cage in that. I almost picked that for our Nick Cage episode, but he shares in love with him, and he lost his hand, and he just randomly
He
yells.
lost his hand?
He has a wooden hand. He's like a baker with a wooden hand, and she likes him for some reason. And he'll just go. She's marrying his brother or something, and he's just like out of nowhere, occasionally like, "I lost my hand. I lost my bride." It's an incredible.
That was really good.
Maybe
That
the
was a
most
really good
Italian
impression.
movie that ever existed.
Edward Woodenhands?
Edward Wooden Hand. Edward one wooden hand and one regular hand.
So this next movie is mine that I chose out of a handful of movies that Joey allowed me to choose from because I'm not a romantic comedy guy.
Here are your state-approved rom-coms. You may choose one.
Yeah. So introducing to you Bedazzled. I have no idea what this is about. I chose it based off of the title alone. Shall we?
Yeah, I'll give it a little preference. Brendan Fraser's in it, and that's all you need to know. Brendan Fraser's.
I like Brendan
He's
Fraser.
incredible. So without any further ado, let's watch the Brendan Fraser original, Bedazzled.
Elliot Richards needs a life.
You're the man, Elliot. It's all about first impression. Go over there, say hello.
But most of all, he wants Allison.
Hi.
Hi. Do I know you?
Oh, I sure hope so. We've only been working together for the last 4 years.
I don't think I've ever seen you before.
I'm here with some friends, and I was wondering if maybe you wanted to...
Elliot has never had any of his dreams come true.
I would give anything to have that girl in my life.
Until now.
Hello. You're very glib. I bet you're a whiz with the ladies.
Well...
Let's go someplace quiet so we can talk.
Okay.
What if I told you that I have the power to give you anything and everything you've always dreamed of?
Who are you?
Promise not to tell anyone? I'm the devil.
Yeah, right.
I am the devil, Satan, Lucifer, the Prince of Darkness. Well, the Princess of Darkness, anyway. Why don't we take a look at the contract? I, the devil, with offices in Purgatory Hell and Los Angeles, will give you 7 wishes for one piddling little soul.
Is this real?
It could be. Sign it, Elliot.
Okay. I wish that I were married to Allison and that I were very, very rich and very powerful.
You got it.
Muy buenos días, señor. ¿Le apetece algo de comer?
Como dices, no hablo español. Un momento. Realmente estoy hablando español. Hola. Mucho gusto. No, gracias. Soy alérgico a los crustáceos.
Elliot may have 7 wishes.
You turned me into a drug dealer.
What's the big deal? You asked for rich and powerful.
But she's not going to give him
Back so soon?
a chance in hell. Bedazzled.
Nobody gets it totally right away. That's why you get 7 wishes. Besides, do I look like somebody who tried to trick you?
Well,
That was awful.
This is what
I
I
remember
was.
this movie. I definitely watched
You
it
remember
multiple times.
What?
Well, it's
This is-
2000. I'm
this
10
is-
years old. It comes on TBS a lot.
This is exactly what I would have expected from just a random 2000s, or just the year 2000 rom-com.
Yeah,
This is
it's
just
like
your-
he's in love with the girl, and the devil, as Elizabeth Hurley, comes and
She's hot.
gives him 7 wishes. So the whole movie is him just like Timmy Turner, like getting monkey pawed wish. Like every wish has a caveat. The girl's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I wish.
Classic.
Oh man, I wish I would that I could find a sensitive guy." And then he goes, "Elizabeth Hurley, I wish I was the most sensitive guy in the world." And then boom, oh, what did you expect? Oh, he can't get laid because he keeps crying at the sunset, and she leaves. I mean, I want
Yeah.
to go back. I have both a Brendan Fraser story and an Elizabeth Hurley story, and I'll let you guys choose for time.
I want to hear the Brendan Fraser story because I'm a sucker.
I go
for
Brendan Fraser too. He was great in
The
that
Mummy,
movie about the mummies.
Looney
Yes, The Mummy.
Tunes, Scrubs. He's just incredible.
Yeah.
Give it to us.
So maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was an extra on I think it's a Showtime show or Stars called, or HBO. It's on a network. It's called The Affair or something like that. And so
Yeah. My dad watches it.
you don't know who's in it, but it was like they were like, okay, you're gonna play a someone visiting someone in prison. So go to like 96th and 2nd. We're gonna pick you up in a bus and we're gonna take you to actual Westchester County Jail. So there'll be people who are playing prisoners. Everyone like who's dressed as a prisoner, we really can't stress enough, don't wander out of this specific area or they'll think you're a real inmate, and they will not believe you if you say you're an extra in the affair. And so I went, like, I'm in. It's so weird to like drive into a prison and give your ID and stuff, and they give it back to you at the end. And so we just hang out in this prison, and I realized like the gigantic man who's sitting behind the camera is Brendan Fraser, because it's been like 10 years or 20, like no one's seen him in anything, and he's just
fat
like
now?
maybe the largest person I've ever seen.
Like height, width? What are
Yes,
we talking?
yeah, just a massive person, a large person.
So he's like 6'4", 700 pounds.
Yeah, just a horse-sized man. And so there's a lot of like waiting when you're on set in these shows, and he plays like an abusive guard to the main character, and he's like he's like not method, but he's like psyching himself up, so he's just like pacing around menacingly between shots, which takes like hours, and just a very foreboding guy, but like he like here and there drops it to be like a friendly, bubbly Brendan Fraser. So he'll be like this brooding massive character, and then like he'll smile and like give someone a massage, and they're like, what the fuck, like random. And then
Did you get one?
no. That's really it though, other than like the guy I was next to, I saw the other extra I saw, he was just like watching porn on his phone. It was a weird day in prison.
Weird day in prison.
Yeah.
That guy, let me tell you, was no extra.
Derek, let me give a little depth to your story. The reason why we haven't seen Brendan Fraser in a lot of stuff recently is because I live in I'm from Greenwich, Connecticut, and that's where Brendan Fraser also lives. And I think like I heard through the grapevine that his son has like really severe form of like some like bad disorder, and like he's like not well. So Brendan Fraser actually gave up like big roles for like 10 years or so just to like be there for his son as he grew up until he was like a
Wow,
teenager.
that's interesting.
Let's rate this before we're out of time.
Okay, fine. I'm giving this a 2 thumbs down. I'm giving it a 2.
Yeah, it was very cheesy, not great. I'll give this like a 4.
So you give it a 4 too, Charlie?
You said you gave it a 2, Joe.
Oh, I gave it a 2. You gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's good. I just want to keep it in line. It wasn't like that much worse than the other ones. I don't really like romantic comedies, so this was just like a worse version of the other two.
And Derek, what do you give it?
I'll give it a 5. I don't remember it being like painfully bad. It's something you could have while dicking around on your phone. Something you could have on.
Something you can have on while you're watching porn in jail.
Yeah.
So I'm shocked this movie looks so goddamn bad because it has Brendan Fraser, who I love, Elizabeth Hurley, who's sexy as all hell, and the director is Harold Ramis. You guys know who Harold Ramis is? He's famous.
Of course.
He directed and wrote.
Joey, I'm so sorry, but he died.
Fuck.
He's dead.
I'm trying to have a good Memorial Day weekend. Oh yeah, if you're listening to this, we record this during Memorial Day weekend. So sorry if that's weird for you guys. I'm trying to have a good Memorial Day weekend, and you're fucking telling me Harold Ramis died. Just shut the fuck up, okay? You're breaking my heart right now.
He's up there having a barbecue with Bobby Hebert and Nora Ephron
on the lake.
And Mel Gibson's career.
Mel Gibson's career.
So, what was the fact though? Because it doesn't look like a good movie, but sometimes you make a stinker. What are you gonna do?
I want to confess something to Derek that's gonna make Derek mad. Even though I love Groundhog's Day and Ghostbusters, my favorite single thing Harold Ramis has ever did was when he was the dad in Knocked Up. That was like my all-time favorite thing he did.
That was pretty good.
So
There's a scene, I think.
So let's see what the tomato score is, and I have a feeling Charlie can finally win today, but I'm gonna have Derek go first.
That's right.
The Rotten Tomatoes score is 44.
And that's right, I'm going 43.
No, you idiot! You should have gone the other way. I was trying.
God damn it! I thought it would be worse.
You fucking suck, Charlie. You got swept
I
again.
am the greatest. I won, and I don't hate Jews. I want and I don't hate Jews.
Oh, he's a jolly tomato, or he's a jolly tomato. I don't know. So yeah,
Looks like you're the Robert A. Bear winner of today's episode.
Derek, you're gonna go to Hollywood to see Bobby Seger live.
Hollywood?
It's not possible.
Like in the moving pictures?
Yeah, that's right, boy.
Wow.
Let me read what the tomato people said about this monstrosity of a movie. Though it has a funny moment, this remake is essentially a one-joke movie with too many flat spots. What was the funny moment, I wonder?
When he learned that he could do Spanish and he says he's allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, I chuckled a little bit at that line where he realized he could speak Spanish. So Robert A. Bear gave this a 2.
Yes.
A 2 stars.
Just like me. We're both 2ing this.
Yeah, but yours is out of 10. So I'll give this last paragraph and then we can wrap this up. Why not some twists and U-turns? What if Elliot had figured out how to word the perfect wish? You, as Satan, already know what would really make me happy. I want you to grant it unconditionally without loopholes. That would be a good wish. There's a hint of that in the scene where he asks to be made the world's most sensitive man.
Right.
A man finds himself in an alternative universe where Allison loves him but is bored by how sensitive he is. I want a life with a man who will ignore me and take me for granted and only pretend to be interested in me to get in my pants. Funny, but the movie never reaches escape velocity, and Elizabeth Hurley is too calm to be the devil. She lacks abandon, risk, and maniacal self-amusement. She doesn't crank it up enough.
That was one of my favorite Roger Ebert quotes ever. She lacks the abandon risk. She doesn't crank it up enough. Yes.
So yeah, I guess I'll just give the one last sentence, and then I think that's good enough because that was a good sentence. Walking out of this screening, I was thinking Elizabeth Hurley for girlfriend, Courtney Love for Satan.
Wow, that would be better.
The first paragraph ends with, forget the girl, I'm thinking seduce Satan.
Yeah, because Satan's a babe.
So I'm so happy right now because I learned today that Roger Ebert, just like myself, when it comes down to brass tacks, he only cares about TNA. And it feels great because that movie had TNA. And you know what? I'm going to give it a 5 now just for the TNA.
Forget the girl, seduce Satan.
Ooh, yeah, sugar. And that's it for today's episode of the year 2000 Rom-Com. Thank you guys so much for listening. We're going to be back next week with another and more movie trailers. I'll mispronounce more words. Derek doesn't hate Jews. Charlie is cool. And that's it. Have a great weekend and a week or life. Or just come back next week and listen to us. Bye-bye.